Alright guys, today we're going to go ahead and get going on Freebird by Lynyrd Skynyrd. I'm sure there's a lot of people who want to learn this one, so we're going to go ahead and get started on it. If you're watching this video on YouTube, remember you can find the rest of the videos at www.mikesguitarlessons.com, and the other videos for this song will be on there, plus a ton of other videos, solos and things like that from other songs, and even just general lesson videos too, scales and chords and all kinds of stuff. So again, that's www.mikesguitarlessons.com, and I hope you go there. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start right now with the chord progression of the song, and that's the verse chord progression. That's the one that comes in at the very beginning. So if you listen to the song, you'll probably notice that the guitar actually doesn't come in right on the first chord. The chord progression starts, and it's mainly the organ and the piano you hear a little bit, and then on the second or third chord you actually hear the guitar being strummed, but it doesn't get strummed on every one. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you the chord progression and basically tell you, if you're playing by yourself, just go ahead and play on every chord, and just strum it one time on those slower parts until the song gets going. Alright, now we're going to start off with, I'm just going to start off by telling you the chord progression. If you already know these chords, then I'm just going to run through those quickly. It's going to be G, D, E minor, F, C, D. Okay? Now, one thing to note, if you already know those chords, you need to remember that the E minor and the last D, or the second one that you play, second time you play the D, which is the last chord in the chord progression, they are twice as long. So if you're doing that, any kind of rhythm on it, even if you're just strumming it once on every chord, you need to double it on those chords. You can let them ring twice as long, or you can just strum it twice if you want to. So to stay exactly in the line with the song, you need to strum like this. You got the G, the D, and on the E minor is twice as long. So I'm going to strum it again. Then F, then C, then D twice as long. And to start over, okay? Now let's go ahead and get into how to play these chords again, if you don't know. So I'm going to do a brief tutorial, but remember, if you're on my website right now, you can go to the section where I'm teaching you how to play all these different chords and learn the chords there, and have a much more detailed description there. But I'm going to go ahead and go through these just a little bit fast, okay? For the G, you're going to take your first finger and put it on the second fret of the A string. Okay, it's going to play that note. On the E, you're going to put your middle finger on the third fret of the E string, and you're going to take your pinky or your third finger. I like to use my pinky and put it on the third fret of the E string, that skinniest one, okay? So let me put those back. All the strings in between are open, so it's starting at the thicker string. It's third fret, second fret, open, 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 third fret. Okay? There's your G chord. And now we're going to go to your D. For your D, you're going to put your first finger. Let me go from this direction. For the E string, the skinny one, you're going to put your middle finger, or your second finger, whichever you want to call it, in the second fret of that E string, playing that note. Your third finger is going to go in the third fret of the B string. Your first finger is going to go in the second fret of the G string. Okay? Then you've got open on the D. And if you want to, you can also play the open on the A. I usually don't worry about muting that one, but you don't want to play this E string here. So you mute that one with your thumb. Bring it around and just barely touch it to where it mutes. And that's your D chord. Okay? So we've got G and D. Now we've got E minor. The way you play that E minor is, it's going to be open on the thick E string. It's going to be second fret on the A with your middle finger. it's going to be 2nd fret on the D with your 3rd finger. Okay, so playing that note. Then open on the G, open on the B, and open on the E. Okay? So that's your E minor. So starting from the thickest string, it's open, 2nd, 2nd, open, open, open. Alright, so it's G, D, E minor, again, then F. Now, the F, I'm going to show it here as a full bar chord, but you can also play it as the smaller bar chord here. So let me show you how to play that smaller bar chord first. If you can't bar across the whole thing, which means, anytime you play a bar, that just means you're playing more than one string with a single finger. In this case, our first finger is doing that. I've got my first finger going across the E string and the B string in the 1st fret, right there. So I'm playing both of those notes with my first finger, okay? And then you can put your middle finger on the 2nd fret on the G string, playing that note, and your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the D string, playing that note, okay? And those are the 4 notes that you strum. Okay? That's the F bar chord. Now the full bar chord is like this. You're going to bar all the way across the 1st fret of the guitar, and then you're going to put your 3rd finger, well, without showing you that because it gets a little crowded, let me start with these higher notes. Your 3rd finger is going to go in the 3rd fret of the A string, okay, playing this note. Your pinky goes in the 3rd fret right under it on the D string, playing that note, okay. Your middle finger goes in the 2nd fret of the G string. Okay, so see it a little better. I'll get the other fingers out of the way. Okay, that's a G string. Okay, so with all those fingers down, those 3, take your first finger and bar in the 1st fret. So it's going to play in the E string, the B string, and the skinny E string all in the 1st fret. So we're playing all 6 strings here. Okay, so that's G, D, E minor, F, then we come to C. Now you play a C like this. Take your first finger and put it in the 1st fret of the B string. That's the 2nd from the bottom. Take your middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the D string. Take your 3rd finger and put it in the 3rd fret of the A string. Okay, so you mute this, and you mute this thickest E string here. You don't let it play, so it gets muted. So what you've got here playing is 3rd on the A, 2nd on the D, open on the G, 1st on the C. I'm sorry, 1st on the B. You're playing a C note, but 1st fret on the B string, and open on the skinny E string. Okay, so now we've got G, D, E minor, play it again, then F, C, then back to our D chord twice. I'm sure you already know how to play that one because we just learned that one for the 2nd chord. So you just go back to that D chord and you play it twice, okay? So I'm going to play it a couple times through slowly, and you try to strum with me. So here we go. Ready, go. Starting over. Okay, that's the chord progression for the verse on Freebird 2 times in a row. So try to get good at that chord progression, then you can work on the other chord progressions in the song and the solo eventually if you want to do that. So